Hi everyone, my name is Kim and I am Barbara's daughter. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. I would like to thank you for joining me this week to see my stitching. I have a lot to share this week and I am recording this again on Thursday. It seems like scheduling YouTube videos is something that I am capable of, so I'm going to schedule it for Friday as usual, but we are going up to visit my in-laws in Connecticut. First time we've gone anywhere outside of the local area in probably 4 or 5 months, so that's kind of exciting, but Connecticut seems like a relatively safe place to go. And we are just going to visit family, so I am looking forward to a nice 4th of July weekend. I hope you guys have some fun plans for the weekend. I want to start, before I forget, with the giveaway I said I was going to announce today, which is, since today is July 2nd, but you'll be seeing this on July 3rd. It's Jolly July, and I am doing some Christmas stitching that I'll share with you in a minute, but we're going to have a Jolly July Christmas project bag giveaway, and I have a set of bags that my mom has made. The first one is this, I guess, regular size project bag with the vinyl front and a zipper and polka dots on the back. And then there's one that, I'll just hold them up all together at the end. It's kind of a smaller size bag, same fabrics as the first one. And then there's a teeny notions bag, which just reversed the fabric. So the inside Christmas tree fabric is on the outside and vice versa. So I am giving away all 3 of these bags, thanks to Mom. If it wasn't for Barbara, I wouldn't have any giveaways on this channel, right? So if you would like to be entered to win this set of bags, just leave a comment below and use the word July. That's what I'll search for when I pull the random comment picker next week on next Friday's video. So good luck to everyone entering that. And next, I just want to go over some questions that I had from last week's video. So let me just pull up some questions here. Tammy wants to know what fabric I'm stitching Old Nantucket on, and I didn't bring that with me because I didn't work on it this week, but I'm hoping to get back to it this coming week. I'm stitching it on 36 count Weeks parchment, and that's the new Weeks on the Zweigart base, and I really like it. I did not care for the old Weeks. I had just tried it one time and really didn't like it, but I like the Zweigart based Weeks, so that is parchment. And Kyle was nice enough to tell me, which I didn't realize, that Queen of Freedom is out of print. Fortunately, I have the best friends in the stitchy world. Sorry, they're taken. They're all mine. And I had 3 of my friends in my stitching group offer to let me borrow Queen of Freedom. So it looks like I'm all set with that. I did order Lady Justice last week when it came back in stock on 123 Stitch, so I'm waiting for that to ship to me, and I'll probably stitch that first and then do Queen of Freedom after that. Kyle's question was that for the Dimensions kit, which I'm doing mason jars, I have the picture here. He wanted to know if I was following the rules as far as how many strands of thread I was using, because, you know, I don't like to use more than 1 strand of thread. I am following the rules. I mean, in a kit like this, sometimes there's half stitches, sometimes there's 2, 3, 4, 6 strands of floss, and it all contributes to the way the final project looks, so I'm not messing with it. It's on a 28 count even weave, so it's super easy to get multiple strands of floss through the holes, and it's working out just fine. I don't love it, but it's all right. So I am following the rules with that. Let's see. Oh, Deb had asked if I could show how I do DMC floss on a thread drop. Last week, I think it was last week, or maybe 2 videos ago, I had shown how I take Weeks Dye Works floss, cut it, and put it on a thread drop. I didn't look at these questions before I came up here to video, so I don't have any DMC in front of me, but basically I do it exactly the same way. DMC floss is like, I think it's 8 yards instead of 5 yards, maybe a little more, 8 and a little more. I still pull off the papers. I open it up, I cut it into 1 yard sections, and I put it on the thread drop the same way I did the weeks. So if you go back to the video where I showed that, but I don't pull the one strand off of my card. Like, so if I have this, I will take the entire piece off the card and pull out what I need and put it back on. I know it takes longer, but that's how I like to do it. It's fine. But you can pull just one strand off at a time, but I think you have to, this is doubled on here, and you have to have it so it's a whole yard hanging down, I think, to be able to do that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Several people want to know if my mom's adopting or willing to make project bags or books for them. I have a monopoly on my mom. I'm sorry. I'm keeping her to myself. And oh, somebody had asked me about the thread drop template for the Cricut, and I did get that from a friend of mine. I'm pretty sure if you search for oval thread drops in the project section of the Cricut, Cricut software, you can find, it's a public project, I think. If you can't find it, just send me an email at barbarasdaughterflosstube@gmail.com. It's in the description box, and I will send you the link to the project. But I think it's a public project, so you should be able to find it. And okay, I think that is all the questions for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my stitching. The first thing I have to show you is a finish. And I did the Blessed Bee Sal with Cow Stitcher and a Stitch for Mom. And I did not do this vine and bee at the bottom here. So I was able to finish everything that I wanted to stitch on the piece, and I really like it. It came out super cute. I used mostly the called for colors. A couple that I didn't have. Let me just see which ones those were. Oh, no, you know what it was? It wasn't that I didn't have it. It was Roasted Marshmallow was supposed to be the house, and it didn't show up on this. This fabric is more of that Weeks parchment that I was talking about that I'm using for Old Nantucket, and it just, the Roasted Marshmallow was just too close. So that thread is Classic Colorworks Bamboo, which I thought when I looked at it was going to be too white, but it really wasn't. It was actually pretty perfect. So I'm happy with how that came out. And some of the blues are different. I think I used Dublin Bay for these little flowers here. This is the called for in her dress, which is Teal Frost. And then let's see, what was the other one? Otter Creek, I think. My Otter Creek, which is what is supposed to be here, was really green, and I didn't want them to be greenish. I wanted them really to be blue. So that is uniform blue there. And they came out looking pretty close to the picture, I think. So, oops. So I was pretty happy with how that came out. I went to Hobby Lobby on Monday and got this for $1.19, reduced from $2.99, reduced from $11.99. So this is gonna get a piece of mat board in front of it with some fabric on it, and then this piece mounted on a smaller piece of mat board stuck on top of it. So, and this is, it can stand on its own or it could hang, but that's how I'm gonna finish this. I'm probably not gonna finish it right now. We are, my husband is finishing our basement, and so unless it can be finished in a frame, I'm probably not doing it right now because my sewing area was in the basement and it's all packed away right now. So I'll have to put it in my box of finished items and get to it when I get to it. Okay, so that was my only finish this week, but I worked on the mason jars that I was showing you before, and I have 2 jars finished. The pink here and the daisy there, or sunflower, daisy, I don't know, I'm not good with flowers. I kill everything that is green. Okay, so I finished those, got the back stitching in, which really makes a huge difference. I love the way they look. I have room to put, room to put one more flower over here, I think, and still get it to fit in like a 5x7 frame. So I'm going to try and do that this week and get the third flower done, and then I'll be done with this section of flowers, and then I'll move on to probably take a break from this because it's Jolly July. I want to get some Christmas stitching in, but then I'll go back to it again maybe in August and do some of the other jars. So that is mason jar lineup. The other thing other whip that I had that I worked on is the Summer, Autumn, Winter by Blackbird Designs. I will insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's finished. And I'm almost done with Autumn. I thought I was going to get it all done, but I wanted to start something on July 1st for Christmas, so I did that instead yesterday. So I had already finished Summer, but I got this far on Autumn. And so I really don't have that much more to do. There is a dividing border that goes down here. There's this little green line has to continue over here. And then there are a couple little tiny 4-stitch motifs in here and over here in the caramel corn color that I have to do. So, I mean, if I have another hour with this piece, it'll probably be enough to finish it. And then I'm going to put this aside for July, again, because I want to do some Christmas stitching. And I also want to work on American Sampler, which I didn't work on this week, because that is sort of close, like probably as close as this is to finishing. So between American Sampler and this Summer, Autumn, and Winter, I'm kind of going to alternate, I think, until I get those done. Those are two kind of big pieces that I'm excited to finish. The last thing last cross-stitch whip I worked on is a new start, Merry Christmas. I figured for July 1st I would start this because it'll be a quick stitch and hopefully a quick finish. This is by Abby Rose Designs. And I just worked on this yesterday for a couple hours. It's super quick. This is on Color and Cotton. It's either Havana or Brown Sugar because those are the only two I've had. I think it's Havana because it's darker than the Brown Sugar was, but it's 36 count. I am not using the called for colors. I just picked Victorian Motto colors that looked kind of like the picture. So I have to finish the word Christmas and I have to fill in the berries and the leaves, and then this is done. So I think if I sit for another night and work on this, that'll be done and I'll have my first Jolly July finish, which is great. The other things I have to work on are kind of larger projects, so it'll take me a little bit longer to do those. And actually, last week I showed some of my Christmas whips that I wanted to work on in Jolly July, and I forgot to show you all of them, so I have some more of those to show you in a little bit when I go over my plans. Okay, so if you watched my video last week, you know I was going to start beading Lady of the Flag, and I did. And I'm going to show you what I got accomplished. I didn't finish it, but I got basically the first page done, which doesn't have as much beading as the second page does, but the reason I didn't get it finished, Mirabilia fans, close your ears. I have a true confession to make. I don't like beads on my cross stitch. Yeah, really. I started beading the crown and I went, I don't know that I like the way this looks. I don't mind beading. The process is fine. It's actually pretty methodical and you know, I like it. I think I'm doing a decent job of it. I don't like the way the beads look. Now listen, I posted the picture in my Stitchy group and they were all like, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Great, thank you. I appreciate it so much. I still don't like it. So I really struggled. I was upset almost to the point of tears because I've worked on this for so long, and to see this like 3-dimensional bead effect that I don't like come on this piece that I've worked so hard on, it was really hard for me. I considered taking all the beads out and going back with like some Krynic and using that instead of beads, but honestly, it's the first time I've ever done a Mirabilia. I ended up deciding to just keep going. It's going to be framed behind glass. No one's going to get right up to it and look at it. I know it looks fine. I know everybody else thinks it looks great. I don't like beads on my cross stitch. So when I do more Mirabilias in the future, no beads for me, I don't think. and maybe I'll change my mind. But today, that's what I'm saying. I don't like the beads. Having said that, I'm going to show you the beads. And I took some pictures because I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see the beads on this, but I'm going to try and hold it up. Well, first of all, looking at it from back here, it looks great, right? It looks fine. So that's about as close as I can get, just because of the way the bed is kind of in the way here of me getting any closer to the computer. But you can see that if I was not going to do beads, I could just eliminate the ones that are out in the middle here, and the ones that are inside the stitching, I could use Krynic or just regular DMC thread instead of the beads. So I think that's what I would do on projects that I do in the future. They're just not for me. Having said that, I'm glad I'm trying it. I have never beaded before. It's nice to have this being done as it's called for, as it is supposed to be. I just was really disappointed by that. I was disappointed by how I felt about it. So I am going to finish that up hopefully this week. There are a lot of beads in the bottom of the dress, but we'll give it a try to get it finished this week. And then my husband did make a frame for Lady of the Flag. And I went to Hobby Lobby and got museum glass, which is, you can see, there is a glare, but not horrible. The windows are directly across from me, so that's as much light as you're going to get on it. The piece of glass was $63, museum glass. The frame, the wood for the frame cost about $40. So that's not bad, $100 to frame a memorabilia. I feel like that's better than if I were to send it away somewhere, of course. So once I get the beading done, I'm going to lace it up, stick it in that frame, and maybe, fingers crossed, I'll have an FFO to show you next week. We'll see. We'll see if I get it done. Okay, I think we're ready for haul and stitchy kindness and all sorts of fun things that I have added to my stash. So first I got a fun surprise in the mail from my friend Lori. She has a Flosstube video and her channel is Once Upon a Stitch. I'm sure most of you watch her, but just in case you don't yet, I will link her channel below. And she sent me a birthday gift that included a lot of fun goodies, including this pattern I had never seen before. It's Jeanette Douglas. I love it. I'm definitely going to stitch this. And I actually really love the colors too. I think I would probably do it in those colors. So she sent me that pattern and a whole bunch of other goodies. She had picked up Vintage Country Mocha in my favorite 36 count. And it's funny because she said, oh, I know you went to Needleworkers. I hope you didn't get this color. And I said, I literally had this in my hand. It was like, oh, I have a huge pile of fabric. I can't buy this too. So I put it back. So she sent it to me. And some fun buttons for finishing. Pins. Sewing pins. And this needle box. So thank you so much, Lori. It's really nice to get a package in the mail that you're not expecting and that isn't a bill. So thank you so much. She sent a really cute card too, but I have it downstairs with all the rest of my birthday cards on my cabinet, so I forgot to bring it up here. I did go to Needleworkers and I got a big stack of fabric that I want to show you. I got a few flosses too, just these reds are to go with another pattern that I bought on Etsy that I'll show you. And I'm collecting blues for Hawk Run Hollow, the shores of Hawk Run Hollow. Amy Loves Toads had done it with some overdyed blues for the water, and she shared those with everyone on her, maybe her last or next to last Flosstube. Those I can't seem to find in stock anywhere, so I'm kind of picking my own blues and we'll just see what happens when I get started. So anyway, at Needleworkers, I got, let's see, probably show up better if I hold it against white, Wexford linen, which I talked about this once before. It's made of a different fabric. It's not like 100% linen. It's called Wexford linen, but it's not 100% linen. It's got something else in there, and I can't remember. My friend Arlene told me, and now I can't remember. But this is 36 count Blue Dynasty. And then I also got another Wexford that is Sand Dune. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but I love the color. And Wexford is just, it's like a little bit thicker. It has a rougher texture, but not in a bad way. It's still soft and pliable, so I like stitching in hand with it. But it's actually, I feel like it's a little easier to see the holes on it. I don't think it's an even weave, but maybe it is. I don't know. If you're a Wexford linen expert, give us the details in the comments below. This one is 36 count raw linen with white mini dots. I have not stitched on the dot fabric before, and I like that these were mini. The big ones, I've looked at it before, and I feel like it would be hard to put your needle through one of those dots, but the mini ones I think would be okay. So I got that, and then for the Huckleberry Farm pattern, which I didn't pull out, so I will put a picture here in editing mode. I had tried to find Picture This Plus Shale, which is the called for linen. I couldn't find it without having to wait, you know, whatever their normal time is, 6 weeks, whatever. So Needleworkers had this just regular Zweigart stone gray. It's not a hand-dyed fabric, but it has a little bit of a purplish undertone to it, and I think this is going to work pretty well. So I got that for Huckleberry Farm. And then the rest of these are Silk Weaver fabrics that I just got because I like them. No intent of using them for anything in particular, but this is Mocha. I got Heritage. I'm not sure how well these colors are coming out. And then those are both 36 count. Everything has been 36 count so far, but I did get, actually I take that back. The Wexford is 32 count. Those other fabrics, the dots, the stone gray, and those two hand-dyed Silk Weavers were 36 count. And then this is 38 count. It's a Delarna. I've never stitched on that before. Parisian taupe. And I figured, well, let's see how 38 count goes. I looked at 40 count. I feel like I could see it, but I don't use any type of magnification besides my contact lenses or my glasses that I normally wear. I don't really want to add to that until I have to, so I don't want to be straining to see 40 count. So we'll try 38. We'll see how that goes. And then finally I got Zweigart Belfast 32 count in smoky white. And no plans for those, just like them. So that was my fabric haul from Needleworkers. I now have a huge fabric stash and cannot buy any more. Of course, I do have a Picture This Plus and Victorian Motto Fabric of the Month coming in every month. So that will continue, but I'm not buying any more fabric besides that, she said. All right, some other things, other haul that I got. My mom got me this. Priscilla and Chelsea's, one of their latest cups. This is the first one I've actually gotten, and it's the beach one. Super cute. It also looks like it's super quick to stitch, so I'm going to do that maybe on that Wexford blue, because I don't think I can stitch on black. I've tried it. I did one of the chock-full jars on black, and it was really not fun. So I might do it on a blue, maybe. I don't know. Not on black. Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts has this really, really pretty chart in her Etsy shop, and it is a fundraiser for her nephew and her niece. Her nephew's battling some health issues right now, so I will put the link to this pattern down below, and if you would like to check it out, this is the pattern that I bought this apple fritter floss to do, because it has a lot of variegation in it, and I thought that would be good for a monochromatic pattern. I have looked at, I'm not going to open this, many people stitching this Chessie and Me Whale Watch kit from last year. I feel like did Pam from Pam and Steph stitch it first? I don't know first. I don't know if she stitched it first. Maybe that's where I saw it first. But Jen from Jen Stitching Niche, she recently had it on her video, so I went to her Etsy shop and bought it because it is super cute, and it comes with the fabric in it. I haven't opened this yet, so I don't know if it comes with the floss. It's got a needle. I think it probably comes with the floss too, but we'll find out when we open it. I really want to do this soon. It's not jolly, so might have to wait till August. I bought on Stash Unload, Scarlet House Perfect World. This is one of the 2 patterns that I got that floche, the black floche for, to do the bottom. So all ready to do that. And then my mom and I were talking, and she was like, you know, I really want to do like a bowl full of red samplers. And I was like, you know what? I just bought this book. There's a ton of red samplers in it, or mostly red. Little tiny pillows or bags that you could make into pillows. And obviously there's some that aren't all red, but this one is red, this one is red, this one is mostly red. You could make it all red. There's this one up here. So, ooh la la, lots of red smalls in this one. So I'm really excited to do some of those. I also bought, this actually was from an order, I got an order the last video and I said, oh, I have all this floss and I don't know what it's from. It's for this, Liberty Lodge. This was, I ordered it. It let me order it from 123 Stitch, but then it said, oh, sorry, we're out of stock, we're back ordered. So they sent me the floss, but not the pattern. So the pattern came in now, and now I know what I have that floss for. It was for this pattern. So I love that. This may end up being a next year kind of start though, because 4th of July being tomorrow, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like fall Christmas stitching coming on, so I don't know if I'll do anything else patriotic. Let me just look around. I think that is all of the haul. So for plans, I want to finish the mason jar and get that done. I want to finish my Merry Christmas that I started and work on some other Jolly July Christmas stitching. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. I forgot to show you these 2 Christmas pieces that I have. I have this Cutie Pie by Brenda Gervais, Holiday Hoopla, that I want to do, that I have not started yet, but that's a nice small one. And I have some flax linen to do it on, and a bunch of threads that I just pulled that are not the called fors. And they're in a bag with this guy, Peppermint Pals. It's almost done. I have this on the called for fabric, which is, I think, Picture This Plus Mint. And he's like all stitched up there. I have to do his basket and the bird and the border and everything, but the big part's done. So I want to finish him because he's super cute. So I'm going to add that to my Jolly July pile of things to work on this month. And then finally, I have Lantern Lane started. I love Lantern Lane. I love the colors on the cover and the variegation, like in that tree and the roof and everything. So I had started this. It's not ironed, sorry, because I just pulled this out. And I love the tree. Tree came out great. I do not like the color that I am using for the house. And it's I don't know how well you can tell on here. It just seems like it's a little too bright to me. So I had asked Melanie on Soulful Stitching. She had shown her Lantern Lane 2 videos back maybe, and I liked the way the color of her house looked, and I asked her what it was, and of course it was the call for, so that's what I should be doing, right? So this is a Belle Soie. It's called for Sister Scarlet. I was using Lancaster Red, Weeks Dye Works, didn't like that, so then I pulled out Louisiana hot sauce, which was even brighter. Didn't like that. So I have a couple Victorian Motto reds. I'm thinking about ripping out the outline that I've done and filling it in with a different red, because that's what's stopping me from finishing this piece. That's why it's been sitting in this bag for so long, is because I don't think I like that red. So anyway, stay tuned. We will see what house color I pick. And last on my project list is actually a knitting project. I bought this sometime in the winter. It's from We Are Knitters, which is great if you're like a beginning knitter. I do know how to knit and crochet basic stuff, and I can YouTube the rest that I don't know, so I can passively knit and crochet. I bought this kit from them, even though it was kind of expensive, because there was a 40% off sale at some point over the winter, and I really love the color. This is not the color I'm doing. It's more of a pale pink, but on their website they have the shawl pictured in other colors, and I really liked this pink color. So on the drive to Connecticut tonight, I can't cross stitch because it will make me nauseous. Yeah, I can't stitch in the car, unfortunately, but I can knit. So I'm going to get that started this afternoon so that I can knit on my way up to Connecticut and work on a shawl, even though it's, 90 degrees. That's fine. At this rate, it'll be done by the winter, and I can wear it when the weather is more appropriate. So don't forget to comment with the word July in the bottom if you're interested in being entered for the project bag giveaway for next week. And I think that's all for today. Have a great stitchy week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.